settle.
Well, hello, Gothic friends. Welcome to this YouTube Live, the first one ever. Welcome again. This is something I'm going to do new. This is Alice, by the way. You are in Gothic land, a place where we talk about all things Gothic and where I take you to this road of self recognition to find more about your true self, about who you are. I don't know why I'm looking that way. I probably need to be looking at you this way. So, yes, this is new. Welcome. I'm really excited with this because I think that you deserve some kind of live opportunity to talk to me. I suppose I'm new at this, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to see your comments, but I think I will. So have a look. I've got my banner there ready. Okay. So yes, as I was saying, since I am in a lot of different platforms and I do a lot of different things, and in other places, I give the people the opportunity to talk to me live, and even we do one-to-ones. I thought, why don't do the same with Alice in Gothic Land? You are Gothic, but you don't know it. So once a month, I'm going to do like this wrapping up of the month and telling you what's going to happen next. For various reasons. First, because it helps me organize what we have done so far. I want to thank people who've been commenting, following, and giving me feedback. But also because it helps me structure a little bit everything. As well as that, since I write every week, I write my newsletter. I thought, why not do like a video newsletter where more or less I can do all these things. I'm giving you feedback. I'm wrapping up the month, but I'm also going to give you some things that you can take away with you. So let's do that. And as I said, I hope I see the chat because I'm not familiarized with this. I suppose when I go to the private chat, I'll be able to see people's comments. And okay, so what have we been up to this month? A lot of things have happened, and they have been super wonderful. I don't know if you can say super wonderful, but they've been great. To start with, at the end of January, I was contacted by a psychologist, Felix Gomez, who is living in Sydney. He's a Venezuelan, but he's living in Sydney, and he came across the channel. And he said, "Look, I love it. There's a lot of interesting information there, a lot of learnings there. I can tell there's a lot of work there. I love to interview you." So that's what we did. He interviewed me for his channel, and we went there at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of February. We did this wonderful interview. I felt super comfortable with him. He asked really great, interesting questions, but really basic, as in what is the Gothic? Uh, what can we understand about the Gothic? What is that we can learn from it? How can it actually help us? And from this Gothic lens, how can we see the world and how can we analyze ourselves and our fears? So we went down into those paths that we like so much, what I really love doing. Also, I was a lot more um, focus on the type of content that I wanted to create. If you have noticed, you have probably seen that I'm creating a lot more into the introductions. For example, you can see that there's a video at the start. You have me saying what the video is going to be about and a little bit of music, and then the video itself. So I'm getting more into the swing of setting more storytelling with the music, which is something that I want to explore a little bit further with some of the videos. So that's going to be a little bit advanced for next month. I'm going to try to be doing a little bit more storytelling combined with these kind of lectures that I give you when every Friday, 5 o'clock is Spanish time. So yeah, with Felix, the one thing I realized was that a lot of people still do not know what the Gothic is and why they still have in mind this idea of the aesthetics of someone being dressed in a certain way or liking certain type of music, not even into certain readings, just the aesthetics or the architecture. And the truth is that the Gothic is a lot more than that. It's that space that allows us to go and analyze our fears and analyze how we feel, to explore these things that we keep suppressing. And I really like talking about identity, talking about the self, what goes inside your brain. Neuroscience gets tangled in things, and so does my background in language, because the language also shapes a little bit our thoughts, or are the thoughts that shape the language. So I'm trying to blend in all these knowledge, all these ideas. This month, another interesting thing that's happened is that I contacted Tuche Kutlu, like we talked with her like 4 months ago, and connecting with her, the idea was to do one program to talk about midnight mass. But then what happened was that we realized that with one program talking about midnight mass, that wasn't enough, and then we got tangled into creating these short videos, short videos, no, this program where every Friday, every Tuesday, we upload a video where we talk about midnight mass. And we are really loving that experience, because we have our presentation is like a mini lesson again. We loving this presentation format. We are talking about visually, it's also interesting for the person watching, and we are going in depth into this rabbit hole, and we're really analyzing what goes into this series. Why are we doing that? Because we're both teachers. When you go down the rabbit hole in a class, when you analyze texts or you analyze films or TV series, it's very good to find examples of things that happen in our real lives by going to these spaces. People can refer to them. They've seen it. They have an opinion, and it's great because then you can elaborate this program where everything makes sense. So we go into fiction, we go into this space that helps us to be entertained and to disconnect from our everyday lives. But at the same time, what we're doing is creating these connections and realizing what can we actually find useful to our lives, what we can actually apply. So that section, we've called it Road to Self-Recognition. And it's a section that, as I said before, we upload every Tuesday, and it's going to be an interview with different profiles, writers, psychologists, investigators. And as the year goes on, we'll see where that takes us. But the idea with that also is to invite you all, if you're finding that is useful, to create also some content, some material that you can take away with you, like the presentations that we upload when we're talking, something that is downloadable, something that you can take. And also that if you want to support, because we are really creating a lot of content, then for support, you have also the links here. Is for supporting the guests that I bring, but also to support this project, so we can keep investigating and creating these products. The idea is that you also can take away, as I said, worksheets. If you ask for something, a requirement, because you really think is very useful, you're a teacher, you want to use this in class yourself, or you want to ask me for permission for something, you're very welcome to suggest things too. So we have this other space in the road to self-recognition, and as I said before, is something that has helped me see other ways of working with the Gothic in the horror space too, and to put those two worlds together and to explore other spaces. And the truth is that those videos are nice. People really like them and people really engage with them. What I do on the Friday normally is just me talking to you about a topic connected to the Gothic, and I'm concentrating a little bit on self-identity, on who I am as a person, my troubles, my worries. And I bring literary texts, I bring quotes from different investigators or research to actually back up what I'm talking about. And it's always around this idea of helping you overcome your fears, whether that is in your personal space or if it's in at work, if this is with other people. And also to bring those texts again to make you think. Yeah, the idea is also to use the critical thinking so you can actually relate, you can find your own solutions, you can find other ideas, you can see the same topic that might be worrying you from different angles, and without forgetting the communicative aspect of things. How are we communicating these things? How the others can see us, how I see the others, and what are the dialogues and the binomials that we have between us. Also is the aspects, we can talk about monsters, Frankenstein, vampires, we can talk about ghosts, which is actually something that I want to start talking about next month. And the figure of the ghost is the figure that I really, really like. Is a figure that I never, so far, I'm not really gone in depth. And is actually something that I want to dedicate some sessions to talk about. We've talked about why horror should be taught more in the schools, why I think that the teachers, schools in general, could benefit from horror, moderated horror, obviously for the children and for their ages, and but also exploring our fears from those angles. If someone has asked me a question as well, I've tried to answer the best as I could with my knowledge. Sometimes the answers could be really, really broad, and we could spend hours and hours elaborating. So for that, then we will have to have a chat privately, and then see how we could take that as well, so to help you, again, to help you know more. Some people might just come to the channel just to see what I'm talking about because they're interested maybe in the Gothic from a different angle. I'm not really sure. If people don't interact, then I'm not sure. But when you interact, even if it's privately, it's great, because then I have also more content to keep working on, some things that you also like. TV programs that I watch, I'm trying to do a little bit more of book reviews, but as you can see, I'm quite messy with my books. I've got some books there. I've got Noah's there. I was talking to Noah before. If you hear, that's that's your book there. There's a lot of things that I have pending, and a lot of lessons and help and guidance that I want to give you through the Gothic, even if you're not really someone who thinks that you like the dark, scary things and elements. Everybody has aspects that are a bit Gothic in their lives, and there are always dark spaces where going to the fiction space can help you figure out and find tools to solve your problems. So going now to something else that I've done, I've actually been having meetings with my accountability group. Now, this group is made out of three of us. Is Justine Park, a writer, editor, publisher. Tracy Fahy, she's also a writer, academic, investigator, and she's in the arts as well. And we meet up to see and to set some goals as writers, because if you're not really familiarized with that, I actually write as well on Medium, which is a platform where writers meet, we write, but we have our own audience. We talk directly to them. You can underline the sentences, the phrases, you can talk to us, and it gives us a very good feedback on what people need. It's a space where we can write fiction, non-fiction. I only write non-fiction there, and I talk about my project, my Alice in Gothic Land project, but also about my experience as a teacher, as a language teacher, which sometimes I'm not sure if I should bring into everything, but the reality is that that's part of me as well. So Medium has been a really good platform because it has actually made me connect with a lot of interesting people. And in fact, I've done two cohorts. I did one in October last year with Christina Gold. So Christina Gold, if you're watching this at some point, you have been mentioned. Medium is a very good environment for people being optimistic. Maybe sometimes you can find optimistic people and pessimistic people everywhere, and in the balance is where we find answers. So sometimes we go to the dark to find the light. Sometimes in the light we find the dark, and this is where you find me as well. But in that space with Christina, it was very useful to get this encouragement with other people that are in the same space. Which, if you are in a dark space, talking to the people is super useful, because a lot of people are in the same position, the same place as you are. And it's good to go and be on your own to work things out, but sometimes you need to also go out there and work things out together with other people, to either say, I don't want to go there, or to actually say, yeah, great, I think I need to start putting this into practice. A lot of times these meetings are painful, they hurt because they really touch a nerve, but you come out a lot better. So it's super important that we actually talk with other people. As writers, we need this kind of socialization, although some writers might decide, no, I need to be on my own, I need to be on my own space, but you have to explore. So in this accountability group, we've been setting targets. I know that I keep jumping. That's my brain. That's why normally I plan things, because if not, my brain just jumps all over the place. In this accountability group with the writers, what we do is set up targets for our fiction. But we also, because we are different between us, we're very different. We also get to help each other with timetables, with ideas. We explore, we put into practice. We say, I have this idea, what do you think? Sometimes someone else in the group comes up with a better idea, or with something that could add to the other idea. And it's fantastic because we set a time, otherwise we will be talking for like the whole afternoon. We set a time, and we are very intentional with that time that we're together, and each of us brings something to the group, and then we move on. That's something that if you're a writer, or you're thinking of being a writer even, I would recommend you that you do. Another project I've been doing is, and getting feedback from, is helping someone here in Spain to write her mother's memoirs. And that has been really useful, because I've started to put into practice things that I learned along the way with myself and with her in the past too. And now we can see how this is starting to take shape. So yes, I'm mentoring these student that happens to be also a friend. She gives me feedback about the videos. She gives me feedback on a lot of other things. Obviously, I'm charging for that, but I'm not charging a full rate because she's a friend. And the benefits of these are huge for both sides. We're setting up, we're more intentional, both of us, with our targets. Sometimes we combine the sessions with practical activities that I correct for her. Other times we concentrate more in what the literary devices. Other times we work on a book. We are actually working on Nada by Carmen Laforet, because she's a Spanish student. And from then on, a lot of wonderful things happen. And it's when I'm actually in contact with people that I can see how I can actually help you, and the things that I can create. Oh, hi, Noah. Now I found the button. Sorry about that. I'm really, sometimes I'll be clumsy. Now I'm here. Yes. Thanks for coming. I've been talking to Noah precisely. This is one of the things that I meant. I was talking to Noah just before this live session, and Noah Watery and I met through Tim Denning, and another writer on Medium, and he does lots of courses, and he's on LinkedIn. He's also all over the place. And we have in common not just that we both write on Medium and that we want to take writing a lot more serious in the future, but also because we have something in common. We both like death. I mean, he's I keep forgetting your job, Noah. It's an undertaker. Yes. Well, no, you're not the undertaker. You are the manager of the place. Funeral manager. Thank you. Thank God it came to me head. He's a funeral manager, so you can imagine that someone like me, how curious I am about his job. And we talked about this in the past, and now we need to retake our conversations, because this is the beautiful thing about talking to people, that you can get into planning, collaborating, thinking of projects, and helping each other. And nowadays, in the society that we live in this globalized world, this is what we need. So I really, really appreciate that you stopped by. Yes, see, funeral director, mortician, undertaker, same difference almost. Yes, I know. Sometimes I say undertaker sounds like when you were in watching this Stephen King's Salem's Lot. As you can, the picture of the guy just going there and burying the bodies. But yes, it's great to talk worldwide with people as well. So if you're shy and you just here lurking, just start taking note, because it's important that you find your own way of socializing with other people and of communicating. So Medium, I was saying, going back to Medium, it's been a great place also for these cohorts. First, because I was with Christina Gold, and she told us all about the uh, bits and bobs of Medium, and how to connect, how to get more visualizations, how by writing more a day, be more intentional again, and being really organized with your writings and the type of writings and the publications, I actually got into a lot of nice conversations there too. And obviously, in my medium space, what I do is I talk about the Gothic as much as I can. But there is a different format, because when you're speaking, you make mistakes sometimes. It flows, it's more natural. In the writing space, one can be more poetic. So it's beautiful when you can also do that. And there I can refer people to come and visit this channel or the other channel. And then you end up having like this little supermarket where you are in the different little places, and you show your products and how you can actually help people. So again, that's wonderful what I found from there. But the second cohort, the second group, is being built by Carmen Ballesteros, who actually is Spaniard. I didn't think I was going to meet up a Spaniard there. I thought I was going to be the only one, as you do. And I met Carmen there, and then we started talking. I loved her humor because, she's got the Spanish humor, and I felt identified, although she's a lot more of a comedian than I am. And I actually asked her, I said, well, do you actually coach? Because we got into conversations and it was quite interesting. And when you are lost with your project and you're not quite sure what people like or they don't like or where you should go, and she said, well, I'm going to open this group, and we are pretty much all like learning from each other. So now I'm doing this second cohort thanks to Medium, and that's giving me a lot of clarity for this channel as well. So a lot of times things that I talk about there, I might be bringing them here because it's giving me all this extra backup and this material. So that's for Medium. What else I've been up to? Yes, when I keep realizing in all of these conversations, I keep realizing that not everybody has clear what the Gothic is. Obviously, people in the academia do. They know what the Gothic is. They go beyond that. By the way, if you want to know more about the Gothic and you already have some foundations, I recommend you go and visit Sam Hurst, Romancing the Gothic, because I've been going there myself. I've been going to her sessions. I've been there as a learner, but also as someone who a presenter. And last year I presented a little lesson about second language acquisition and the Gothic, how to use the Gothic to teach languages, to teach English. And she's got this fantastic group of people who collaborate, and they go and they teach you tons of things. So she also has a coffee page, and you go, you donate. So I think nowadays creators, we need to support each other. If you're learning something from someone, you need to support that person, because if you go and you buy a book to learn something that you need, then you should actually buy not a coffee, or even if you want to donate more, we have also memberships in these places and we offer our services. So consider us as being serious as well as just entertaining yourself, because we're here talking about things that are cool or interesting to you. Might not be cool for others. So with Sam, there are people out there doing wonderful things. And precisely, I met Tuche Kutlu. I met her through Sam, and I met other people that I might be interviewing as well in the future. So contacts, connections. Do not close yourself into being in your own head, because then what happens is you don't see the other possibilities. With Carmen, it's been great because we've just met this group of people, and we've been there like 2-3 minutes, and we're already helping each other like big style, and we are there. I'm telling them all about the dark spaces and the Gothic. Of course, they still don't quite get what it is, but I have the same problem all along. That's why I was mentioning the academia and the rest of the world. So the preconceived idea about the Gothic is very is it still a little bit green? Is it still maybe not accurate? And I feel that I can fill that gap, that I can help you in your project by letting you or allowing you to see what the Gothic can do for you, what the Gothic elements can do for you, because everybody has a ghost story. And this is what we're going to be talking about from next month. Everybody has a ghost story. The ghost is this figure that has a social role, because it was also at some point it was a human being made of flesh and blood, and then it moved on and it became this ghost. And what is this ghost telling us? So I will be talking about that from next month. as well. Remember also that in every video, I tend to tell you, go download. For those who are not familiarized with the Gothic, you have downloadables. It's true that those downloadables will lead you to my email list, and that will lead you to be receiving information, weekly information that might be of your interest. Of course, we are here to sell transformation. We are here to share knowledge, but to also sell transformation. If what I'm telling you is helpful, then consider buying from me maybe in the future, if the product, the service is suitable for you, of course. But you have a lot of free things that creators we give to our audience to then for you to test what are these products, if they're going to be good, if they're not going to be good, if it's actually talking to you. So if you are, for example, not really sure about what the Gothic is, I have a brief introduction. If you want to know how to make the most of watching your TV series in a foreign language while you are learning vocabulary and enjoying yourself, I have another downloadable. At some point I did sell this, now I'm giving it for free, but at some other point, if I tweak it a little bit, I might sell it again. So, there's all this movement going in Alice in Gothic Land. It's not just that I post a video every Friday, I talk to you about something that is really interesting and giving you ideas and points and bullet points. There's a lot more. There's a lot of work going behind in other platforms. As I said, I'm also on LinkedIn. You've seen that I'm in a lot of different places. So this is what basically what I've been doing this month. A lot of contacting with a lot of people, a lot of working together, getting ideas, seeing, actually realizing where I need to give more information about the Gothic. What are the areas that people like? I am really loving the new subscribers, so I really appreciate you. You're very welcome to share with me your opinion. If you want me to do anything, if you have any curiosity, any questions, please feel free. I'm really grateful for every comment that you leave, because by you sending and posting comments, I know what you want, and I know how it gives me an idea of how I can actually help you. I'm trying to prepare a lot of mini courses that are gonna come soon. But if you already like what you've seen so far, don't wait any longer. Just come to my membership. Here in Coffee, you've already got the link here. So my Coffee page is Alice in Gothic Land 1402. But you could also go to my website, which is gothicalice.com, and you will see that you have the free downloadables that I was telling you about. The important thing, or one of the things about this is, or maybe one side well, a weakness of the site, or not a weakness either, is maybe you don't quite like, let's put it that way, maybe you don't quite like that this place is bilingual, which is something I would appreciate you telling me, if you prefer it to have the English separated from the Spanish audience. And the same for the documents that I send. Sometimes people might unsubscribe because they're receiving things in Spanish or in English or both, and that can be confusing. So if you have an opinion on that as well, I would appreciate it. So I hope, just to wrap up a little bit now and to finish off here, I hope that since January that we've been in this new space of Alice in Gothic Land, you are Gothic but you don't know it. I hope that you have been making notes, that at least your critical thinking has started analyzing things from a different point of view, that you found that useful, that you could apply this. And if you need me, remember that you can contact me. You can contact me at gothicalice.com. You can write me an email. You can find me all over the place, and I'll talk to you privately. I'm going to start doing one-to-one sessions to start testing things as well. So keep an eye, because you don't want to be missing out. If you want to be jumping on board and you want me to work with you on your own, and there are things that are going to happen. So plans for next month, we're going to be talking about ghosts. We're going to keep working with Tuche, who actually we have another 2 sessions, and then we're going to do a live event like this for you to be able to talk to her and ask her questions, and to me. And then we're going to be selling privately to those who wanted the presentation, downloadable presentation, PDFs and worksheets, cheat sheets, and anything that we can think of connected to Midnight Mass, and how that can actually help you in your everyday life. I am going to interview the people. As well, I've got in mind, I talked to Felix Gomez, the psychologist I told you about before. He interviewed me at the beginning of the February, at the end of January and the beginning of February. And with him, I would also like to do some sessions and some talks, precisely because he will be fantastic to talk us about Carl Jung and identity, and to talk about the shadow self. And he will recommend you a lot of books, and he's great. So this is it, my friends. If you have any questions at some point you didn't make it today, I promise you that for next Friday I will actually post some notice saying that we're going to be live, that you can come with your questions ready. Think about everything that we've done during the month, and then you can come asking me those questions to see if anything is not really clear, whatever you can think of. And then we can actually meet, because I like when people teach me things online, and to have the possibility to talk to them, is that doesn't have a price. That is priceless. And because I like it, I want to give you guys also the same opportunity, the same chance. Okay, so I'm not going to stretch any longer, because I can talk forever, but I also get dizzy and lightheaded of listening to myself. So thank you, Noah, for being here today as well, and clarifying your job title. I hope that, well, I'm going to see you tomorrow. We have a lot of things to talk about, and I hope it's going to be, I'm sure it'll be super great and useful for both of us. And for the rest of people, when you watch this, please remember that you can go and donate to my coffee page every Friday. No, every Friday. Yes, every Friday you have the recorded videos on You Are Gothic, but you don't know it. But at the end of every month, I'm going to do like this. I'm going to do a live newsletter video thingy. So then you can actually come, talk to me, give me ideas, and we do something a little bit different. And it also gives me time to catch up with my content, because, my friends, writing about the Gothic is exhausting. It's lovely, it's exhausting, but because I love investigating so much, sometimes I create a lot of work for myself. But if it's good quality and you like it and you love it and you think you're learning tones, then wonderful, I've done my job. So I hope to see you again next Friday. You'll see me recorded with a better light than this one, and live again at the end of next month, at the end of March, the last Friday of March, around about 6 in the afternoon. So I'll see you next time, and until then, be very Gothic and start thinking about your shadow self and about your dark corners, and how is the Gothic helping you. So see you very soon. Bye bye.